A merchant, eager to reunite with his family, sets out on a journey home after years of hard work. On his way, he encounters an old man who offers him a seemingly simple yet profound verse. Upon returning home, the merchant misinterprets his wife's actions, and in his anger, nearly commits an irreversible mistake. At the critical moment, the old man's verse brings him clarity, allowing him to calm down and prevent tragedy. This story highlights the importance of inner peace and reminds us how, through wisdom, meditation, and reflection, we can find serenity amidst emotional turmoil. This video presents a simple yet profound Zen story, offering insights into how we can cultivate inner tranquility and mindfulness in everyday life. The life lessons embedded in the story remind us to pause, reflect, and make wise decisions when faced with conflict and anger, leading to deeper spiritual growth and enlightenment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more enriching content on mindfulness and spirituality. Once upon a time, there was a merchant who had spent many years traveling for business, rarely having the chance to reunite with his family. As the new year approached, he felt a deep longing for home and decided to pack his belongings and return to his village to spend time with his wife and children. Along the way, he thought about his wife, who had tirelessly managed the household year after year without a single complaint. Feeling guilty, he thought to himself, "I should bring her a gift to express my gratitude." The merchant arrived at a bustling marketplace, determined to find something unique that would convey his heartfelt appreciation. However, the market was filled with an overwhelming array of goods, and despite walking through the stalls, he couldn't decide what to buy. What should I get? What gift could be both meaningful and useful? He pondered. Just as he was mulling over his options, he spotted an elderly man sitting by the roadside, with a sign beside him that read, "Selling wisdom verses." Curious about what this meant, the merchant approached and asked, "Sir, how much for one of these verses?" The old man glanced at him thoughtfully before replying, "You seem to have a good fate with me. I'll give you a special deal. 10 taels of silver for a verse. Half selling, half giving." The merchant was taken aback. 10 taels for a single verse? That's incredibly expensive. He considered walking away, but hesitated, thinking there might be something special about these verses. The old man handed him a piece of paper with the words, "Take 3 steps forward and reflect. Take 3 steps back and reflect. When anger arises, think deeply. Quelling anger brings the greatest fortune." The old man then cautioned him, "Remember, whenever you feel anger rising in the future, recite this verse 3 times, and you'll experience something extraordinary." Though skeptical, the merchant had little time to debate. Nightfall was near, and he needed to continue his journey. He paid the silver, took the verse, and hurriedly set off on his way. The merchant, weary and dusty from his long journey, finally arrived home in the dead of night. The house was quiet, as his family had long since gone to bed. He tiptoed through the house, trying not to disturb anyone. When he reached his wife's room, he carefully opened the door, but what he saw stopped him in his tracks. Under the bed, there were 2 pairs of shoes, one pair belonging to his wife, which he recognized immediately, and another pair men's shoes. In an instant, his mind went blank, and a fiery rage surged through him. How could she? While I'm away working hard to provide for our family, she has the audacity to do something so shameful behind my back, unforgivable. His anger flared hotter and hotter, like a blaze he couldn't contain. Overcome with fury, he stormed into the kitchen and grabbed a sharp kitchen knife. His mind clouded with thoughts of betrayal and vengeance. He rushed back to the bedroom, the knife gleaming coldly in the dim light, as if it were reflecting the intensity of his emotions. He approached his wife's bedside, ready to raise the knife and end it all. Just as he was about to strike, a sudden thought crossed his mind, the words of the old man at the marketplace. "When something makes you burn with anger, recite this verse 3 times, and its power will be revealed." The old man's voice echoed in his ears, and the merchant found himself murmuring the verse, "Take 3 steps forward and reflect. Take 3 steps back and reflect. When anger arises, think deeply. Quelling anger brings the greatest fortune." He stood there, pacing 3 steps forward and 3 steps back. As he moved, his heart slowly began to calm. Each step seemed to bring a bit of clarity to his troubled mind. Repeating the verse over and over, he felt his anger slowly dissipate, like a fire being doused by a cool breeze. His thoughts became clearer, and the knife in his hand felt heavier as his initial impulse faded away. His wife, startled by the sound of her husband's footsteps, opened her eyes slightly, seeing her husband standing by the bed, holding a kitchen knife with a stern and angry expression. She was momentarily taken aback, but then, relief and joy spread across her face, and she asked with a gentle smile, "Why are you back so late? Have you eaten yet? It's so cold. You must be starving." However, her husband was too consumed by his anger to respond to her concern. Pointing at the pair of men's shoes under the bed, he demanded angrily, "Why is there a man's pair of shoes under the bed?" His voice was cold and sharp, and his gaze was intense, as if searching her face for signs of betrayal. His wife, initially confused by the question, quickly realized what he was insinuating. She furrowed her brow slightly, then chuckled softly with a hint of playful reproach. "Oh, for heaven's sake. Today is New Year's Eve. I waited for you the whole day. But even by midnight, you still hadn't come home. I didn't want to spend the New Year's Eve alone, so I took out your shoes and placed them next to mine just to create a sense of togetherness, even if it's only symbolic." The merchant, hearing her explanation, felt an immense wave of relief wash over him. His heartbeat slowed, and he slowly lowered the knife in his hand. Reflecting on his earlier rash actions, he realized with a shudder how close he had come to a terrible mistake. Had it not been for the verse, reminding him to pause and think, the consequences would have been disastrous. Looking at his wife, who was still gazing at him with a mixture of concern and hope, he felt a deep gratitude swell in his chest. He thanked the old man in his heart for his wisdom. With a sigh of relief, he exclaimed, "Thank goodness I didn't act in haste. That verse is truly priceless." Then, feeling both grateful and amazed, he added, "Worth every silver. Absolutely worth it." The story Cornus in the Flames of Rage illustrates a vital Buddhist teaching. The flames of anger can ignite easily, but they can be extinguished through wisdom and calm reflection. In life, emotions are like a fire that can flare up unexpectedly, and if left unchecked, they may lead to irreversible consequences. In the story, the merchant's misunderstanding of his wife sparks intense anger, almost driving him to harm the one closest to him. However, at the crucial moment, the verse taught by the old man brings him back to clarity, allowing him to contemplate the situation and avoid making a grave mistake. This demonstrates a core teaching of Zen practice through self-awareness and wisdom. One can dissolve inner turmoil and conflict. The verse's advice to take 3 steps forward and 3 steps back serves not only as a literal action, but also as a reminder to pause and reflect when emotions arise, helping maintain a calm and clear mind. The lesson we can take from this story is that in our daily lives, when we face difficulties, conflicts, or anger, we should, like the merchant, step back and reconsider our actions. By embracing the wisdom of Buddhism and Zen teachings, we learn to find coolness within the flames of our emotions, guiding us toward a path of peace and enlightenment. Thank you for watching our share today. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content about Buddhism and Taoism, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join us on our journey of cultivation. We also welcome you to share your thoughts and feelings in the comments section. We look forward to hearing from you. Be sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be the first to receive our latest updates. May you feel the light of wisdom in your daily life. See you next time.